of this town do use fire in their worship. And I will tell you why. The inhabitants declared that in the days gone by, 3 kings of this country went to worship a newborn prophet and took with them gold, frankincense, and myrrh, so as to discover whether this prophet was God or an earthly king or a healer. For they said if he takes gold, he's an earthly king. Frankincense, he's God. And myrrh, he's a healer. Well, guess who got all 3? I want to announce they presented him gold because he's a king. King of the universe, King of kings and Lord of lords. Frankincense because he's God and worthy of a fragrant offering from his people. And myrrh, and I love this, in Jewish law, myrrh is for death. But in Persian law, myrrh is for healing. They weren't presenting him. I've heard preachers say, well, he got myrrh for his burial. No, he didn't. He got myrrh because these strangers, these odd kings, these people who had read the stars, who didn't have a big witness, they got there. And when they got there, they saw a baby. And they said, this baby is king of the earth. We have come to adore him. But not only that, he is God come on the earth. And his ministry is to heal. In Acts 10 it said that our Lord Jesus Christ went forth to heal all who were sick and oppressed of the devil, for God was with him. That is the testimony of Jesus Christ. Let this Baptist preacher tell you one more time, he still heals today. We don't understand it, but he's still moving today. Well, we understand there were 3 of them. We understand they had a limited witness in their own heart and a witness, a part of the Bible. But they also had the witness of the stars. And this is interesting to me because I begin to study the creation of the universe. And in Genesis 1:14, God says, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens. That's the galaxies and the stars. Let them divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons. I'm going to stop there. God is creating the sun, the moon, the stars. And he says, I want them to be for signs and seasons. The Hebrew word sign is the word for miracle. I want these stars to bear witness to the supernatural, huge power of Almighty God. Also, I want them to declare the seasons, the kairos moments when I'm about to break through. And the Bible said at his first coming there was a sign in the heavens. But when I read that same Bible, it says at his second coming, there's going to be, God has been writing across the universe his message. Listen to what he says in Psalm 147:4. He counts the number of the stars and calls them by name. But then we come to the stargazers, whom the Bible condemns in Isaiah 47 and also in Deuteronomy chapter 18. But when you begin to study even the zodiac, you find that the ancient rabbis did not condemn the zodiac, they condemned its misuse for occultic purposes. Joseph A. Seiss has written a book called The Gospel in the Stars, where he's researched all of this. So you're going to trust me on this. It's a great book. E.W. Bullinger has written a book on the message in the stars. God says some positive things about the stars. Job 38, can you bind the cluster of the Pleiades or loose the belt of Orion? Can you bring out Mazzaroth, that zodiac? Can you bring out the zodiac in its seasons? Can you guide the great bear and its cubs? It's talking about the constellations. God said, I put a picture up over your head of some stuff happening. Do you set, verse 33, Job 38, do you know the ordinances of the heavens, and can you set their dominion over the earth? Amos 5:8, he made the Pleiades and Orion. Well, do the stars have the mystery of the gospel? I read Psalm 19, the heavens declare the glory of God. John 1 says that in Jesus, the glory of God was manifest. He says there's a speech being made by the stars every night when we go out. Of course, we've got so many artificial light, we can't see the light of creation. Do you understand that when you behold what you see up there in the galaxies, even in our limited village, you're seeing the power of creation still going on? The universe is still rolling out and expanding right now at the speed of light, faster than you can imagine. You're going 1,000 miles an hour and don't even know it right now. That's how our planet spins. Not only are you crawling at 1,000 miles an hour, you are speeding at the speed of light with our solar system on the edge of the Milky Way toward the day of the end when God says, I'll roll it back up like a scroll. That makes me want to worship. Just think about that. Romans 10:18 says, or 10:17 says, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And everybody thumps their Bible, and they don't read the next verse. They did not have the New Testament when Paul wrote this. Let me read verse 18. He quotes Psalm 19. Their sound has gone out to all the earth, and their words to the ends of the earth. He quotes the message of the stars. He said God's word has gone out to the whole earth, and if somebody just look in their heart or lift up their eyes, they might not know his name. Helen Keller didn't know his name. One day when they told him about him, they said, well, I've known him, but I didn't know what to call him. That blind and mute and deaf girl. Let me tell you something, friend. God didn't leave himself without a witness. And so just from J.A. Seise's book, the 12 signs of the zodiac. Virgo, the seed of a virgin. Libra, balancing scales. The seed of the virgin came because you can't pay your debt. Scorpio or serpent, the sting of death is sin. Sagittarius speaks of the double-natured hero who slays the dragon, and we know the God-man, Jesus Christ. Capricorn's a goat, and Jesus was a scapegoat. And he's shown in the heavens, falling down and dying. That's atonement. The age of Aquarius, number 6, out of your belly will flow rivers of living water. That means water, aqua. Pisces fish was the symbol of Christianity in the early church because it spells out King of the Jews in that Latin language. Taurus the bull represents Christ ruling. Gemini, again, pictures not only his dual nature, but our dual nature. Cancer is a crab. And I don't know, how many of you ever had a soft-shell crab to eat? Do you know you eat that thing, it molts off its shell, and you eat it before it makes a new shell. And young people, they fry the whole thing, and you eat the whole thing, just don't look at it. How many say it's good? A crab, because you're a crab. A lot of crabs. Because let me tell you something. When you get saved, you have to live a while in this old shell. But I want to tell you one day, a trumpet's going to sound, and a voice is going to come out of heaven. And one day you're going to shuck off this mortal body and receive a resurrection body, not subject. And the last of the 12 is Leo the lion. That one seed of the virgin ends up as the lion of the tribe of the Judah, the king of the universe. The heavens declare the glory of God. And one night I can imagine those wise men were up there looking, And they'd been waiting, and it'd been passed down from Daniel through the generations that we've been keeping the fire, but the fire bringer, the one who baptizes in the Holy Ghost and fire, he's coming. And one day we're told by Ignatius that a star, strange star, showed up in Virgo and shined and moved around Virgo for 7 years. This is scientific fact. Ignatius said of it, it sparkled brilliantly above all the stars. Not only did it shine brilliantly for 7 years, it started appearing, coming, and going for 125 years before Christ. And Ptolemy said that it became faint and faded away 50 years after Christ was gone. Can you see them saddling up the camels on their way to find him? Didn't have a GPS, but had a leader, had a star leading them. And they finally get to Jerusalem, because I'm sure along the way they said, well, that's where they're center their religion. Get over there to Jerusalem. So he shows up at the temple, and he shows up at Herod's palace, and rumor gets out that these strangers have come looking for a king. And Herod, the half-breed Idumean, Edomite, just to thinking they're about to replace me. And murder gets in his heart, and I won't go there today. But we shouldn't mock that too much, since we murdered 50 million in the room here in this country. The spirit of Herod. And so they come. And here's the strange thing. These guys know the book in Jerusalem. Yeah, it says in Micah, right here in Micah 5, he'll be born in Bethlehem. And so the wise men go, and Herod said, by the way, if you find anything unusual, come back and tell me that I can go worship him too. Liar. A lot of people want to use their religion for other purposes. Well, they go down there and they find him. And here's the strange thing to me. I've been to Israel 21 times. It is a 15-minute cab ride from Jerusalem to Bethlehem. On foot, it is 6 miles. And even somebody like me could walk that in 2 to 3 hours. How many would be thumping the Bible and talking about fulfilled prophecy and not take 2 or 3 hours to go look? I'll tell you who, your neighbors. The 2/3 of this city that never darkened the door of any church. They breathe God's air, walk under his starry host, ride by his churches, and some of them don't even know the lingo, but they've never made it to Bethlehem, the house of bread. These men traveled between 600 and 900 miles. It took months. They had no GPS. They had no clear direction. But there was something burning in their heart that life had to be better than it was where they were. And the false gods of their past could not heal and could not save and could not deliver. And their life, as wealthy as they were, as famous as they were, was not satisfying. And so they made their way to a child's crib. And some of the most powerful men that have ever lived, and I'll say more about them next week, some of those powerful men that ever lived bowed down before a child and presented their gift.